The scream always ends the exact same way, right before the water closes over his head. Barish, watch out! You're going to get soaked. Asya wakes up drenched in sweat, her heart hammering against her ribs like a trapped bird. The remnants of the dream cling to her eyelids. A sunlit lake, the laughter of a little boy running toward the docks, and then the sudden, terrifying plunge into darkness. Asya, hey, wake up! You're okay. Pars is sitting on the edge of the bed, his hand steady on her shoulder. His eyes, usually guarded and hard, hold a rare flicker of genuine concern. Asya blinks away the tears, trying to anchor herself to the reality of their sterile bedroom. Pars, you're okay. I was calling out for Barish. Did I say his name out loud? Pars's expression tightens, the warmth instantly evaporating. Who is Barish, Asya? You were screaming his name in your sleep. Who is he? Our son, she whispers, the truth slipping out before she can filter it. In the dream, we were happy. We had a little boy named Barish. You were smiling, Pars. Really smiling. She looks at him, her voice cracking with a vulnerability she usually hides. Are we ever going to have a real family? A child of our own? Pars pulls his hand back as if he's been burned. He stands up, pacing the floor, the shadows of his own brutal past carving deep lines into his face. I never had a family, Asya, Pars says, his voice dropping to a harsh, cold register. I didn't even get to be a kid. I survived on the streets. I am not bringing a child into a world this cruel just to let them grow up fatherless. But they wouldn't be fatherless, Asya pleads, sitting up, reaching for the ghost of a man who refuses to be loved. You're here. I know you think you're incapable of love, but I've seen the way you protect things. I saw how you moved that wild yellow flower from the concrete parking lot to the garden, just so its roots wouldn't be crushed. I saw how you nursed that broken-winged dove for weeks and the look in your eyes when it finally flew away. You have so much love to give, Pars. Please, give us a chance. Give me a child. Pars stares at her, the silence between them heavy with unsaid words before he turns his back completely. Across town, the illusion of safety is shattering. In the Alishan estate, the morning begins with shattered glass and hushed arguments. Layla is sitting on the couch, bruised and trembling, while her father, Alishan Bey, paces the rug like a caged lion. A mugger attacked her dad, Mahir explains, trying to calm the old man down. We just happened to be there. We helped her. It's a long story. Does her mother know about this? Alishan demands, his voice booming. Does Pars know? Selma, Alishan's wife, steps into the room, her face twisted in bitter resentment. Do not speak that man's name in this house. I told you, Alishan, I want him and his shadow away from our family. She turns her venomous glare toward her husband. And where were you last night, anyway? Before Alishan can answer, the front door opens and the tension shifts. Duru walks in, looking exhausted but victorious. Duru, thank God, Layla sighs. Did you fix it? Yeah, Duru says, sinking into an armchair. Yaman helped me get my account back. The hackers wanted a fortune, but Yaman found the right people. We didn't have to pay a dime. Alishan ignores the chatter about hackers. His mind is trapped in a darker reality. He pulls his associate into the study, his voice dropping to a tense whisper. What's the update on Sinar's case? The forensics report came back, the associate replies, looking uneasy. The handwriting on the note wasn't Sinar's, it's official. It wasn't a suicide, Alishan Bey, it was murder. Alishan's chest heaves. Who would want to kill Sinar? Who benefits from keeping the war between our families alive? Someone who stands to lose everything if the peace holds, the associate mutters. Meanwhile, Pars is staring out the window of his high-rise office, his mind reeling from a conversation he just had with his closest friend, Yaman. Yaman had noticed the strange, soft smile on Pars's face whenever Asya was mentioned. You're falling for her, aren't you? Yaman had teased. The stone-cold boxer is finally softening up. Am I going to be an uncle soon? It's not like that, Pars had snapped, though the lie tasted bitter. We're still strangers living under the same roof. This marriage was a deal to stop a blood feud, nothing more. But the lie becomes impossible to maintain when Pars returns to the hotel suite he shares with Asya. He finds her standing by the window, her bags packed. What are you doing? Pars asks, panic spiking in his chest. A hotel staff member came by while you were at your business meeting, Asya says, her voice dangerously calm. They said our room had been changed. They moved my things. But when I checked with the front desk, they had no record of it. Why are we really here, Pars? Pars closes the distance between them, taking her by the shoulders. There is no business meeting, Asya. It's just you and me. I brought you here so we could start over, so we could try to be a real husband and wife. Asya looks at him, her eyes searching his face for a truth he isn't ready to give. You called me your wife today, Pars. For a second, I thought the distance between us had finally vanished. But the word came from your lips, not your heart. Until you can love me fully, without the ghost of your past standing between us, I cannot give you a child. Before Pars can answer, his phone rings. It's the front desk. A visitor is waiting for him downstairs. When Pars walks into the lobby, his blood runs cold. Standing there, draped in expensive silk and wearing a cruel, familiar smile, is Gul. The woman who broke his heart years ago. The woman who abandoned him when he was nothing but a poor street fighter. What are you doing here? Pars demands, his voice trembling with suppressed rage. I told you to stay away from me. I heard you're rich now, Pars, Gul purrs, stepping closer, ignoring the dangerous edge in his tone. You have a company, cars, a massive estate. You think you can just forget about me? I endured the worst years of your life with you. If you're playing the billionaire now, you're going to share the wealth. Get out, Pars snarls. If you ever come near Asya or my family again, I will personally ensure you regret it. The scene shifts to the grand dining hall of the Karaka estate, where the formal peace talks are underway. The air is thick with decades of animosity, masked by expensive suits and forced pleasantries. Alishan Bey sits across from Savaş, the ruthless patriarch of the rival clan. We are here to bury the hatchet, Alishan announces, placing a heavy velvet box on the table. To ensure this peace holds, I am offering the deeds to the lands adjacent to the Green Gate as a dowry for this marriage. Savaş narrows his eyes, looking at Pars, who sits silently at the end of the table. The boy looks just like you, Alishan. A shame he had to grow up in the shadows before you acknowledged him, but fine, the land is acceptable. Let's bring out Sood and finalize the arrangement. Pars stands up, the screech of his chair cutting through the formal murmurs of the room. There's been a mistake, Pars says, his voice ringing with absolute certainty. Alishan frowns. Pars, what are you doing? I'm not marrying Sood, Pars announces, looking directly at Savaş. I am marrying Asya. A collective gasp echoes through the hall. Savaş slams his hands on the table, rising to his feet. Asya, you want to marry the girl who can barely walk? Are you insulting my family? Watch your mouth, Pars steps forward, his fists clenching. The only thing broken here is your mentality. I am marrying Asya. The deal stands, the blood feud ends, but she is the one who will bear my name. In the back corridor, Sood confronts Asya, her face contorted with jealousy. What did you do to him? What kind of spell did you cast to make him choose you over me? I didn't do anything, Sood, Asya says softly, her voice carrying a quiet dignity that Sood could never possess. Alishan steps into the hallway, cutting off the argument. He looks at Asya, then at Pars, who has followed them out. The old patriarch sighs, realizing the sheer determination in his son's eyes. The boy has made his choice, Alishan declares. Prepare the papers. Asya will be the new bride of the Alishan house. As the guests disperse and the reality of their union settles over the estate, Pars finds Asya standing on the balcony, looking out over the sprawling city. He steps up behind her, the fierce protector finally letting his armor slip. We have a long road ahead of us, Asya, Pars says quietly. Asya turns to him, a faint, hopeful smile touching her lips. Then let's start walking.